right, guys, big, massive breakout from ICP. And I said this on my last video. I said, this is an incredible setup. And look at this. I said it was lower lows and higher highs each time. And boom, we have broken out. It's one of the top gainers in the top 100. I mean, this is beautiful. But I'm going to give you the updates. A lot of people are missing two things. There's a Microsoft and a Google partnership, which I'm barely even hearing about it out here. Like, nobody's really talking about it. It should, you know, if this happens to any other token, like HBAR had a partnership and Amazon, AVAX had some partnerships like last year or earlier this year, and they blew up. Like, guys, this is absurd. So we gotta tell everybody, we gotta educate everybody on ICP. It is probably one of the most undervalued tokens out here. And I'm actually going to do a comparison with the other tokens. The revenues from ICP, guys, I'm going to show you this stuff. By the way, go check out my last video. It was this one. It says ICP, huge update, Bob and Burn, and game-changing new project. The new project, it's called MindPro. I'm going to actually sit down with the team, talk to them. Some concerns were brought up about the project. They've actually been going back and forth on the Definity forum on it and some clarification. So that's what you like to see. But that's actually a game-changing breakthrough project if they can get their act together, which it looks like it is together. So I'm really happy to see that. And man, the stuff coming on ICP, I'm excited. So what do we got to be looking at, guys? I mean, there's a lot of great information finally hitting Twitter out here. Look at this. ICP has the #1 finalization rate on everything. Look at this. This is a joke. Look at some of these tokens, man. Some of these tokens have like ETH 12 seconds, DOT 6 seconds, ADA, which is Cardano 20 seconds. Ridiculous. ICP is by far the fastest out here. This is what you want to see. Now, the big data that I brought up, I said ICP, and this is on my Twitter. I'm going to put the link down here to my Twitter and my Discord. You guys can come in, ask questions. ICP revenues higher than both. Think about it. LINK and AVAX combined, which are both worth 3 to 4 times more. What should the price of ICP be? A lot of people said $30 to $50 range. Now, this is where the comparisons come in. ICP is estimated to do almost $12 million this year, which is higher than those other projects, which is insane. So let's go to all cryptocurrencies, just going off the data. And you can see right here, look at this. Atom, which I believe is high, which is pretty high also on the list. DOT, AVAX wasn't in here, but I know AVAX isn't as high. But when you start looking at, hey, who's above ICP? Well, Cardano is at $13 billion. It's above it. Revenues, ecosystem, not as strong. Avalanche, almost $12 billion. Chainlink, where are we? About $7.5 billion. I mean, when I look up and I go, ICP, it's faster, it's better, it's burning more revenues, more developers. Check this out. Check this out, baby. Look at the developers. Look at the developers. #1, Internet Computer leads crypto development activity with record levels of GitHub events. When I keep telling you guys I'm getting hit up by all these different projects, it's no coincidence. I'm kind of on the forefront of a lot of this stuff. A lot of projects are hitting me up to cover them. In fact, I don't know even what to do. I'm trying to pick out the good ones because there's a lot of stuff that might not be good, but that's everything in crypto, right? So look at this. 740 active developments in the last 30 days. That's above Chainlink at 594, above Hedera, which all this buzz, above Optimism, above Cardano. Cardano is such a shit coin. I just hate to tell you guys this, the people who buy Cardano, you don't know anything. You just don't know. You just don't know. It's not going to do well this cycle. It is going to underperform. Its technology, it's okay, but it hasn't done anything it said. It's way behind. But anyway, we're not here to bash Cardano. Best of luck to you. If you want to go buy it, good luck with that. Atom, look at this. Ziga Avalanche. I love AVAX. AVAX only has less than half of the development. Even Polkadot, which is valued above Polkadot, 6.6 billion. In fact, Polkadot hasn't even moved. Polkadot, if you own Polkadot, the reason you're losing money is because you're not doing your research correctly. It's because Polkadot has about 10% more tokens emitted every year. So you're basically, if you don't stake the tokens, you're not going to make any money, which is basically the problem. Again, you have this symbol here, which is infinity. Now, it's okay to have this infinity mark, which is basically what a lot of tokens have, like Solana and ETH that have gone up. But if you're emitting so much and the people are just constantly dumping on it, you need that much to get soaked up. And it's really hard to do if your project really has no utility. You just need new buyers. And sometimes the new buyers are looking at you going, well, I could buy something else. And that's the problem with crypto. unless you make a real good value story where people are saying, well, I could buy, this is better than so-and-so, it provides more utility, better ecosystem. And that's where Polkadot is kind of falling short. It's just not there. And if you would have picked this up, you would have made no money in a year. And this is a bull market where Bitcoin has 4x, ETH, everything 3x, 3x for ICP from the bottom. Also, you would have made zero. So you got to be very careful what you buy out here, because you could, at the end of this bull run, be holding a bag. You could be a bag holder. You don't want to be a bag holder. You want to be somebody who makes money in this bull run. So it's very critical to pick the right tokens. This is not the right token, obviously. The 10% inflation is absolute killer. So keep that in mind when you're looking at a lot of this data out here. Now, when you're seeing all this development, the development is kind of a predictor of the future. Okay. I think of it like this. If they have the most robust development going on now, what is going to happen in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What's coming? I mean, they have so many more users. I actually like the fact that Chainlink has this much development. And the reason Chainlink has a lot of development on it is because it's actual utility. There's a reason to actually own the token. However, Chainlink isn't really going to go up as much as people think, because the way their burn cycles, they don't really burn the tokens either. It kind of gets recycled, number one. Number two, part of it gets burned, part of it gets recycled. Number two, people aren't really building on Chainlink. They're using it for their Oracle. So once they're done with that, then they move. It's not real, let's say, projects being built on it. It's people using their Oracle on it. So what ICP is doing is even more impressive, because they're competing against companies that everyone has to use. If you need Chainlink Oracle for randomization or for whatever, you have to only use Chainlink. There's really Chainlink and Pith Network. That's it. So the fact that ICP is even ahead of Chainlink is mind-boggling. Chainlink shouldn't even be up here, for example. Now, let's keep going, because the data gets better and better and better. Okay, and this is on my Twitter. I'll post it for you guys. All right, this is where it gets big. Google announced a partnership with Internet Computer on September 18th. It didn't even move. I should have just bought a bunch of it, because it's ridiculous. Offering tips on how to use internet more efficiently. On September 19th, Google integrated their Google Photo services with Internet Computer, enabling easy transfer of photos and videos to personal cloud storage. Okay, so that means they're talking to Google. Think about it. How many other layer ones are talking to Google? Okay, that's number one. That means they could make other future types of partnerships for something, right? Definity Foundation signed a letter with the Cambodian Ministry of Industry, Science, Technology, and Innovations on September 19th to explore applications of ICP tech, so smart city infrastructure, AI, and sovereign cloud technology. I mean, my God. So they got Google and they got Cambodia. Now, if we just keep going, by the way, GoldDAO doing some good stuff. You should go check out GoldDAO. Is the next dividend play on ICP. I haven't checked this out. I do own GoldDAO. I got in it at the pre-sale, at the launch, from the launch pad. So I'm going to check out if I can stake it. I have some already in Neurons. See how all this works. I'll give you guys a report, but there's a lot of great projects coming on ICP now. We got GoldDAO, we got Burn, we got Bob. Water Neuron looks to be doing good. There's a couple other ones, Open Chat, Origin. There's so many great projects on ICP that eventually the world will find out about, and they'll get listed on centralized exchanges, and it's going to go. We are early to this party, let me tell you. So let's get going. Adoption is key for ICP, guys. Look at this. Microsoft and Google to integrate its platforms onto their products and services, boosting adoption and usage. This is what I said, and this happened on 23rd. Oh, that is yesterday. Internet Computer announces, yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. This is big moves. So now you got Microsoft, you got Google, you got the Cambodian government. You got Bob and Burn. I love Bob and Burn. I've been buying a little bit of Burn slowly. That's still got inflation. It's hitting. Bob, I'm not buying any, but I am buying Burn. I might start buying a little bit of Bob as the inflation kind of wraps up here. It should start wrapping up at some point. Let's see. So this is basically the major news that a lot of people haven't really been talking about. Microsoft and Google, number one, is absolutely huge. Now, let's talk about price, and let's talk about what I think is going to happen. So as you can see, we fell behind KASPA for a second, and now we went ahead of KASPA because $4 billion market cap. Now ICP has gone to $4.4 billion market cap. So it actually fell behind. A lot of people are saying, is KASPA better, ICP? Because they're both kind of, new-ish kids on the block, especially KASPA. KASPA's kind of had its run up. It's actually maintained itself really well, but it hasn't really moved in the last 3 months. I like to make money, so I don't really care what I buy. I do look at the technology and the developments, but KASPA is still new. Its inflation isn't that bad. It's got some good things going for itself. However, what is going to do better in this bull run? That's really the question you got to ask. I like to buy my stuff cheap, and I don't really see a cheap entry here. I think this entry would have been good, like around 10 cents, but I kind of missed it, right? How high KASPA goes is very speculative because I'm not even sure they've even launched their blockchain yet because their blockchain was going to launch and all this stuff. I'm not really keeping up with it, but I'm looking at it. It's definitely a big YouTube thing. A lot of YouTubers and Twitter guys, KASPA is kind of a hype train. You know, for me, I'm looking for something a little bit more substantial. So I didn't really buy any KASPA. I could consider it on dips. It is something that I might, but again, I don't know. Now, Pepe, I mean, think about it. Pepe has a valuation very similar to ICP. Think about all the things ICP does, and Pepe is just a meme coin. So when you think about valuations, you start, kind of can see valuations start to look really good on ICP. And I do look at the meme coins because sometimes there are plays on the meme coins. Right now on Pepe, I don't really see the play. I do think it's going to go higher, though, in this bull run, just because I think it is one of the top plays as far as meme coins are going to be out there. But let's keep going up. Now, Aptos was above it for a minute. It went below it. Tensor, which is Tau, is the other AI play. This has gone up a lot in the last, I think, couple days. I mean, this thing doubled. Yeah, this thing was ripping, man. I saw this thing rip. I believe there was some news out on it. Again, the news on ICP should have had this type of effect, and it did not. Why? I don't know. Again, Tensor has a lot less tokens in circulation. Circulating supply is 21 million. So per token, it can definitely fly. There's definitely not, if the tokens are in closed hands, it can definitely go up higher. So that's something to consider on any news and so forth. And you can kind of see that playing out here. 400 million in volume is quite high. And that's what's kind of been driving this up. It is interesting. It is an AI play also. However, risk to reward ratio is something to consider when you look at all of these things. Does it do as many things as ICP? No. Is the system as good? No, it's not. None of the stuff is, but at the end of the day, it is still an AI play, and that could be enough to power it in this next bull market. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find the right tokens to position myself in for the biggest gainers. I think I probably should have bought a little bit of this, to be very honest with you, when it was down here. I was definitely looking at it, but I couldn't really justify it. But the price is always a justification. So when we're looking above it, I definitely think internet computers should be priced above it. So, and it is. Now, 4.4 billion is what ICP is priced at. Where are we going to see it? We just saw Sui pass it in valuation. I don't believe this has any merit at all, but it is what it is. I definitely think, given the amount of revenues that ICP is making compared to its competitors, all of its competitors below it and above it, I do believe there is a case to be made that ICP should be in the top 10. I believe somewhere between Avalanche on Cardano or even above it could be the play, around a $14 to $15 billion market cap. That's about a 5x from here. So a lot of people over here were saying, when I asked the question, where do we think ICP price should go? A lot of guys were saying, $38 to $50, revenue growth is amazing, $40 to $60. I think this is correct. I think when you really look at the revenues, the development, the partnerships, Google, Microsoft, and the Cambodian government, and what's coming, other governments, more development, more real world assets. MinePro is just one of them. There's a bunch of these projects coming behind it, by the way. So when you look at what's going on in the full development of what is happening behind the scenes for ICP, I think these guys made a good estimate. This is kind of what I was thinking. I was thinking between $30 and $50 range. Yeah, sometimes when it starts going up, it'll go past that 30 and it'll run to 50. And this is the key with ICP. So much of it is locked in the neurons. About half of it is locked in the 8-year to, I think, 1-year neuron. Half of it is locked. That when you look at the number of tokens, which is 472, over 200 million are locked. So that actually changes the game. How high can we go? The number of unlocks, there's only 8 more months after this month left, is also going down. So the number of inflation for ICP is about to get squeezed over the next couple months. The people that were getting the unlocks like last year knew they had many more unlocks left. This is coming down to the last of the unlocks that the people have left. And because of that, you're less likely to sell when you know you have 5 or 6 more unlocks left. When you have 20 more unlocks left, you see a lot of tokens, even if there are unlocks coming, the end ones, a lot of people are less likely to sell them if they see the potential. Why would you sell it at $9 when you think your token can go to $20 or $30? And that's kind of what you're about to see here play out, hopefully. And we saw this rise go about $19 to $20 range. I think we're going to get back into probably, you see right here, was a $12, $13 range, and we're going to go sideways. I think we're probably going to play with this for a while, get up to the 15s. I think you're going to see it organically move up into the 20s and the 30s and 40s. I think you're going to start to see the whole alt market move, which is what's happening. A lot more liquidity is coming into the alt market now. So, you know, this is still the beginning. This is still the beginning of the alts. Bitcoin has to probably pass 75, 76,000 back to its all-time high back here, for all that liquidity to go find a new home, which is what you're going to see. In fact, you're probably going to see some people around 70 to 80,000 start, which is what happened in the last bull market, start selling some of their Bitcoin and going into the alts, because that's where the bigger gains are going to be made. Will ICP be a major player in that? I think it will. A lot of people are calling for ICP to be a top 5 token. I think, you know, above XRP is where they're thinking. XRP is valued at almost 7-8x above it. I mean, I think there's a play. XRP is not really moving that much. Again, XRP has inflation. I mean, wow, hasn't even moved this year. I mean, you would have bought it at 50 cents. It's at 58 cents. Yeah, it hasn't really moved. Again, XRP, utility, inflation, development. It's not that great. It's definitely good for people who own XRP from the beginning, or the people who developed XRP, because they have 10% more tokens to dump on the market every year. It's good for them, but that 10% they're dumping on the every year, you know, that's about $3 billion has to get soaked up just to keep the price of XRP even. So think about that. Not every project is going to be able to handle the massive amounts of inflation that they create. XRP definitely creates it. Solana is able to handle it because of the amount of users it has more users than Ethereum now, 5.5 million active users. So if you have a huge network like Solana does and a huge user base, then you're able to handle this infinite inflation. However, during a bear market, that inflation will absolutely murder you and crush you, which is why you kind of saw the price do this. But inflation, the good thing with Solana is over time, the inflation every year kind of goes down. So they've kind of figured it out that over time, they're going to bring the inflation down. I just wish they would do that sooner than later, because I think a lot of investors are probably going to buy Solana when it hits all-time highs in the $3 and maybe $4 and even $500 mark, who are going to watch that go down. So it's very important that you guys understand this and take advantage of your knowledge. Hopefully you're watching YouTube that understand that inflation plays an absolute key role in these things. So anyway, this is great news for ICP. I'm excited for what's happening. Make sure to follow my socials and everything, because I'm posting all the news as it's coming up piece by piece on XR. I'm sorry, on ICP, on XRP. No, I don't really care about XRP. XRP YouTubers and ADA YouTubers for like 3 years have been saying that they're both going to explode, and they haven't. And people still give them massive amount of views. Can we change that? Can we start giving the ICP YouTubers some love? Because we're the smart ones. Those guys are living in 2021, guys. Okay, they're only doing these videos for views. They don't believe that XRP or ADA is going anywhere. I would hope they don't believe it, because everything says it's not going to go anywhere. But everyone thinks Cardano is going to go somewhere. It's just not. I'm so sorry to tell you. It's like investing in EOS. It's not going to go anywhere. So anyway, guys, best of luck to you out there. I'll keep you guys updated with more information that's coming on and coming on. So you guys know what's going on out here. And, you know, I think ICP is in such a great space. I think we're super early. I think we're very, very, very lucky for those of us that are in this market to be in ICP. I mean, the fact that the name ICP is associated with Microsoft and Google right here. I mean, what other token you got out there? Names are associated like this. It's pretty incredible. Anyway, guys, best of luck.